Most people carry Qualcomm technology in their pocket without even realizing it. Whether you're texting a friend, streaming music, or tapping into 5G, there's a good chance Qualcomm's chips are powering that connection. But behind the scenes, this company is fighting to reinvent itself in an age of artificial intelligence, automotive tech, and new competition. Let's dive into the fascinating story of Qualcomm. Who they are, how they make money, their challenges, and where they might be heading next. Qualcomm began in 1985 in San Diego. The founders, led by Irwin Jacobs, wanted to tackle a fundamental problem in wireless. How do you let millions of people share limited radio frequencies without everything colliding? Their answer was CDMA, Code Division Multiple Access. At the time, people thought it wouldn't work, but Qualcomm proved them wrong. CDMA became the backbone for 3G, then influenced 4G, and even today's 5G systems. That one breakthrough transformed the company from a tiny startup into a global leader in mobile technology. Qualcomm makes money in two main ways. First, it designs chips, like the Snapdragon processors that power many Android phones, tablets, laptops, and even cars. Qualcomm is what's called a fabless company. They design the chips, but the actual manufacturing is handled by giants like TSMC in Taiwan or Samsung in Korea. Second, Qualcomm earns money through licensing. Over the decades, the company has filed more than 140,000 patents covering how mobile devices connect to networks. Any company that builds a smartphone, even if it doesn't use Qualcomm chips, often has to pay Qualcomm licensing fees for the underlying technology. This has been one of the most profitable and controversial parts of their business. Because of its powerful patent portfolio, Qualcomm has faced numerous lawsuits. In 2017, Apple accused Qualcomm of unfair licensing practices, claiming the company charged royalties on technologies it didn't actually invent. Qualcomm countersued for patent infringement. After years of legal fights, both sides settled in 2019. Around the same time, the US Federal Trade Commission also investigated Qualcomm, but Qualcomm ultimately prevailed in court. Perhaps the most dramatic moment came when Broadcom, another chip maker, tried to buy Qualcomm for $117 billion. The Trump administration blocked the deal, citing national security concerns, saying Qualcomm was too important to US leadership in wireless technology. For years, Qualcomm was the largest fabless chip company in the world, but then came the AI revolution. Companies like NVIDIA suddenly surged ahead. NVIDIA's GPUs became the gold standard for training AI systems like ChatGPT, and its revenue skyrocketed. NVIDIA's market value crossed the $1 trillion mark, while Qualcomm lost its crown. Qualcomm still dominates in mobile chips, but it is no longer the most valuable fabless semiconductor firm. One of Qualcomm's biggest customers is Apple. Its iPhones use Qualcomm's modems to connect to mobile networks. But Apple has been working hard to design its own modems and eventually cut ties. Right now, Apple accounts for roughly 20% of Qualcomm's revenue. If Apple succeeds in replacing Qualcomm parts, it could mean a serious financial hit. This is one reason why Qualcomm is diversifying aggressively. It doesn't want to be dependent on any single company. Smartphone sales are slowing down worldwide, so Qualcomm is betting on new markets. Automotive. Qualcomm has built something called the digital chassis, a suite of technologies that power infotainment systems, driver assistance, and connectivity in cars. Big names like BMW, Mercedes, Hyundai, GM, and even Sony Honda Mobility use Qualcomm tech in their vehicles. Cars are becoming rolling computers, and Qualcomm wants to be at the center of that. Augmented and virtual reality. Qualcomm is developing chips like the AR2 Gen 1, designed for lightweight AR glasses. It already partners with Meta, Microsoft, and Google. If AR or VR ever take off like smartphones did, Qualcomm could be a key supplier. PCs. In 2021, Qualcomm acquired a startup called Nuvia to enter the laptop and PC chip market. The goal is to challenge Intel and AMD with energy-efficient processors that also excel at AI tasks. Some of these chips are expected to debut soon. Here's where Qualcomm is making its boldest bet: on-device AI. Today, most generative AI models, like ChatGPT, run in giant data centers filled with NVIDIA GPUs. But Qualcomm believes the future is hybrid. That means some AI will still run in the cloud, but more and more will run directly on your phone, your laptop, or your car. Why? Running AI locally can reduce costs, improve privacy, and work without an internet connection. Imagine generating images, translating speech, or summarizing documents, all directly on your phone while in airplane mode. Qualcomm has been building toward this for over a decade, embedding AI accelerators inside its Snapdragon processors. Microsoft has already announced offline AI features for Windows devices powered by Snapdragon. Meta's Llama 2 model is also expected to run natively on Qualcomm chips in 2024. If this vision works, Qualcomm could carve out a new identity as the leader in edge AI. One big challenge for Qualcomm and the whole industry is where chips are manufactured. Most advanced chips are made in Taiwan and South Korea. Rising tensions with China and Taiwan have raised concerns about supply security. That's why the US passed the CHIPS Act, providing $52 billion to build advanced fabs in America. Qualcomm is already committed to buying capacity at TSMC's upcoming Arizona facility, and it's one of Samsung's largest customers in Texas. Still, supply chain risk remains a major issue for every chip company. So, where does Qualcomm go from here? The company knows smartphones alone won't carry it forever. Instead, it's diversifying into cars, AR, VR, PCs, and AI. Analysts say its long-term future looks stable because more and more devices, from cars to light bulbs to appliances, are becoming smart and connected. Qualcomm's strength has always been connecting things wirelessly and enabling mobility. If it can extend that expertise into AI and new devices, it could maintain a central role in our digital lives. Qualcomm may not be the flashiest name in tech, but it remains one of the most influential. Its chips and patents form the backbone of modern communication. The company faces fierce competition and some uncertainty, but it has reinvented itself before. And with the rise of AI and connected devices, Qualcomm is betting it can do it again. Whether in your phone, your car, or even your AR glasses, chances are Qualcomm will still be powering the way you connect.